What if I told you that in just 7 days, one simple oil, probably sitting in your kitchen right now, could breathe new life into the one part of your body that most men over 60 secretly worry about, but almost never talk about? Yes. I'm talking about down there. And no, this isn't about pills, injections, or surgery. It's about restoring something deeper. Something time and tension may have quietly taken away: your blood flow, your sensitivity, your confidence as a man. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara. I'm a urologist and professor with over 3 decades of experience in men's health. I've worked with thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, helping them reclaim the strength, the spark, the performance they thought was gone for good. What I'm about to share with you isn't hype. It's not hearsay. It's backed by real clinical insight and personal experience. And yet, very few doctors ever mention it. Here's what might surprise you: one of the most overlooked solutions for aging, underperforming male tissue isn't on a prescription pad. It's found in nature. And when used the right way, topically, it has the power to wake up your circulation, restore sensation, and bring your body back to life in a way many men haven't felt in years. Just one daily habit. One simple change. And it might completely change the way you feel in your body, starting this week. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the exact oil to use, how to apply it, what to expect day by day, and 3 simple ways to multiply its effects. So if lately you felt a little less like yourself, stay with me. Because what you're about to learn could change everything. Now before we dive in, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And turn on that bell. This channel is dedicated to real men's health, especially for those of us over 60 who want to stay strong, energized, and in control. And if this message already speaks to you, even just a little, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Type 0 and let me know how I can better serve you. Alright. Let's begin. Why so many men over 60 struggle, and why it's not your fault. I see it all the time. A man in his 60s, maybe early 70s, sitting in my office. His shoulders are a little heavier than they used to be. He won't always say it directly, but I can see it in his posture, hear it in his tone. Something feels missing. He'll say things like, "Doc, I'm just not myself anymore." The spark. The energy. The connection to his own body, especially below the belt, it's fading. And they assume it's just aging. That this is how it goes. That there's no coming back. But let me say this clearly, it's not that simple. What's happening down there isn't a mystery. It's biology. As we get older, the blood vessels in the lower pelvis, the tiny arteries and capillaries that feed oxygen-rich blood to the penis and surrounding areas, begin to narrow. They stiffen. The flexibility those vessels once had? Gone. And without strong, steady blood flow, things start to fade. Not just erections, but feeling. Sensitivity dulls. Those spontaneous moments, the morning wood, the quick spark from a soft touch, they disappear. And it doesn't stop there. Nerve endings begin to go quiet. Your brain starts disconnecting from your body. That region, the part that's been part of your identity your whole life, starts to feel foreign. And that's when it hits. Not just physically, but emotionally. I remember my own father, proud, strong, worked with his hands all his life, once quietly told me, "Son, it's like that part of me stopped waking up. I feel like I'm fading." That hit me hard. But here's the truth, it wasn't tragic. It was preventable. He didn't need a miracle. He needed circulation, stimulation, restoration. And when we gave that to him, when we re-engaged his body the right way, he didn't just feel more alive down there. He came back to life. Period. This isn't just about age. It's about attention. Your body still wants to respond. You just have to give it the right signal. And as you'll see in a moment, that signal isn't a pharmaceutical. It's something far more natural. In fact, it might already be sitting in your kitchen cabinet. the forgotten oil that revives male circulation. I'll never forget the day Gerald walked into my office. 72 years old. Vietnam veteran. Tough. Quiet. The kind of man who never complains. But that day, he looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I don't feel like a man anymore." Now that hit me, not because I hadn't heard it before, but because I knew he still had life in him. He just needed the right approach. So I told him about a simple, natural oil that could help restore sensation, circulation, even confidence, without drugs. He raised an eyebrow and said, "Oil? You mean like something I rub on?" I smiled. Exactly. But not just any oil. I handed him a small glass vial. Inside was a mixture of rosemary essential oil, diluted with sweet almond oil. And over the course of a week, what happened was remarkable. Most people think of rosemary as a seasoning. Something you toss on roast potatoes. But for centuries, this herb has been used in traditional Mediterranean medicine for circulation, muscle recovery, and inflammation. Modern science now backs it up. Rosemary contains a compound called rosmarinic acid. It helps relax and expand blood vessels. That means more blood, oxygen-rich, nutrient-dense, can reach the tissues below the belt. It also contains cineol and carnosol, natural ingredients that reduce inflammation and boost nerve activity. When applied to the lower pelvic area, above the pubic bone, around the groin, and at the base of the penis, rosemary oil can create something many men haven't felt in years. Warmth. Not burning. Not irritation. Just awakening. Gerald said, "Doc, it felt like electricity under my skin again. Not painful. Just alive." And beyond the biology, something else happened, something we can't measure in studies. Gerald felt in control again. He wasn't waiting on a pill. He wasn't hoping for a miracle. He was actively caring for himself. He was reconnecting with his body, with his masculinity, with the man inside. That oil? It became more than a physical remedy. It became a ritual. And that ritual changed everything. Now, you might be wondering, okay, Doc, I've got the oil. But how do I actually use it? Because how you apply it matters. Done the right way, it can shift your body from dormant to responsive. Let me show you exactly how. Let's get into the part that truly unlocks the potential of this ritual. You see, one of the biggest mistakes I see men make when they try something new for their health, especially something natural, is rushing. Treating it like a chore. But your body doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to presence. So if you want this oil to work, really work, it's not just about putting it on. It's how you do it. The energy behind it. The rhythm. The care. Let me walk you through what I've taught to dozens of my patients, and even my own father. Step 1. Prepare the oil properly. Essential oils are powerful. That's why you never use them straight out of the bottle. You need a carrier oil. My top recommendations? Sweet almond oil, coconut oil, or jojoba oil. These are gentle on the skin, absorb well, and have healing properties of their own. Here's the mix. 3 to 5 drops of rosemary essential oil. 1 tablespoon of carrier oil. Pour it into your palm. Rub gently. Feel the warmth build. That warmth? That's your body already waking up, already listening. Step 2. Set the scene. Now, this doesn't need candles or music unless you want it. But what you do need is privacy. Quiet. A few minutes that belong to you. After a warm shower is ideal, your pores are open, your muscles relaxed, and your mind is a little more present. Sit or stand comfortably. Take a breath. And begin. Step 3. Apply with intention. Start just above your pubic bone. Use small, circular motions with your fingertips. Slow. Gentle. You're not scrubbing a floor, you're inviting blood back into your body. Move gradually outward. across your lower abdomen, into the groin, the inner thighs, around the base of the penis. You don't need to go directly on the shaft, but if you do, just be gentle. The goal here is not friction. It's activation. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Let your body receive. For many men, this is the first time in years they've touched this part of their body without frustration, without shame, without trying to force something. Just care. Just connection. Do this for 5 to 7 minutes. Once a day to start. Evening works beautifully. Some men do it twice, morning and night, especially in the first week. But consistency is what matters most. One of my patients, Frank, 68, widowed, stoic guy, told me after just 3 days, "Doc, I felt something stir. Not just down there. Inside me. I forgot what that felt like." And that's the truth. This isn't just physical. This is emotional, neurological, human. You're not massaging your body. You're reminding it, I'm still here, and I still care. Now, let's talk about what happens when you stick with this. What to expect, day by day over the first week. Now I know, some of you are skeptical. Can something like this really work in just a week? Yes. Because this isn't some one-time trick. It's a signal. And your body, especially over 60, responds to the signals you send it consistently. Here's how it tends to unfold. Day 1, emotional shift. Don't expect fireworks on day 1. That's not what this is about. But something important starts to shift, your awareness. You feel your breath, your body, your presence. One man told me, "Doc, it's not what I felt with my skin, it's what I remembered with my soul. That I'm still a man." That's where healing begins. Day 2 to 3, the warmth returns. Around day 2 or 3, something happens. A warmth. A subtle buzzing under the skin. A kind of aliveness, especially in the mornings. That's circulation. That's oxygen-rich blood waking up those tissues. The nerves? They're stirring. You might find your hand brushing against your lower body during the day and actually feeling something again. That's real. And it's just the beginning. Day 4 to 5, sensitivity comes back. By day 4 or 5, you'll likely notice this, it doesn't take as much to feel aroused. Your body responds faster. Spontaneously, even. That missing connection? It's reestablishing itself. Some men experience a return of morning erections. Others say they just feel less numb, more connected. Confidence creeps in. Not boastful. Just quiet, grounded, real. Day 6, emotional reconnection. This is the part one love to see. Men stand taller. Shoulders back. Head higher. Not because they're chasing something, but because they're remembering who they are. You see it in their eyes. That clarity. Partners notice, too. Not always because of sex, but because of energy. You're present again. You've returned. Day 7, the mirror moment. This is the moment I wait for. You're getting dressed. You glance in the mirror. And instead of seeing decline, you see possibility. Warmth. Fullness. Responsiveness. And you say to yourself, this part of me, it's still mine. That's when I know we've turned the corner. But here's the secret. That's just the beginning. The 3 bonus oils that supercharge your results. While rosemary is powerful on its own, nature works best in synergy. That's why I often recommend 3 additional oils that can amplify your results and create a blend tailored to your body's unique needs. Let's go through them. 1. Ginger oil, for circulation and energy. Yes, the same root you cook with. But topically, ginger increases blood flow with a gentle heat that's not harsh, just activating. Mixing ginger with rosemary? That's a powerful duo. One of my patients, Martin, 71, ex-military, called it his spark plug. He said, "Doc, I felt like someone flipped the ignition switch inside me." 2. Lavender oil for relaxation and nerve reset. Now, hear me out. I know lavender sounds soft. But remember, tension is the enemy of male performance, especially in the pelvic floor and lower back. Lavender works on the nervous system. It signals the body, it's safe. You can let go. And when the body feels safe, it responds. 3. Black seed oil for hormonal and tissue support. This one? Ancient and powerful. Black seed oil is packed with antioxidants, supports testosterone balance, reduces inflammation, and helps nourish aging tissue. It's subtle, but adds depth to your blend. Like a steady foundation beneath your house. How to combine them? Here's a simple recipe. 3 drops rosemary. 2 drops ginger. 1 drop lavender or black seed. 1 tablespoon carrier oil, almond or coconut. Mix warm in palms. Apply with intention, just as we discussed. Each oil adds something special. Some days, your body needs energy. Others, it needs calm. Or deeper nourishment. With these tools, you're not forcing results. You're inviting them. The final piece, lifestyle habits that lock it in. Even the best oil blend can only go so far if your daily habits are working against you. The men who experience lasting, transformative results? They combine this ritual with a few simple shifts. A short walk every day to get blood moving. Hydration, dehydrated tissue doesn't respond. Stretching, especially the hips and thighs. Deep breathing, a few minutes of calm before bed. No gym memberships. No diets. Just simple steps. Done consistently. And together with the oil ritual, they work like magic. So now that we've gone from ritual, to results, to reinforcement, there's one last thing you need to hear. Because no matter how many techniques or tools you try, if you're making this one emotional mistake, it could quietly undo it all. Let me show you what it is, and how to avoid it, next. Let's be honest. The hardest part of all this isn't the oil. It's not the massage. It's not the time or the consistency. The hardest part is permission. You see, the number one mistake I see men over 60 make? It's not physical. It's emotional. It's that quiet, creeping belief that they've run out of time. That they no longer deserve to feel strong, or wanted, or alive below the belt. They stop looking in the mirror. They stop expecting anything new from their bodies. They stop hoping for change. And that quiet resignation? It steals something from them. Not just function. It steals joy, confidence, presence. One of my patients, Arthur, 70, sat across from me one afternoon and said the words I'll never forget. "Doc, I just didn't think I deserved to feel like a man anymore." That hit me like a punch in the chest. Because he meant it. Not in self-pity, but in quiet defeat. And I looked him in the eye and said what I'll say to you right now. You do. You've always deserved it. And you still do. You don't have to settle. You don't have to shrink your life down to something safe and quiet and numb. Your body is still listening. Even if it's been silent for a while. Even if the flame feels dim. There's still a spark in you. And all it needs is attention. This routine isn't about youth, it's about presence. Look, I get it. You want more stamina. Stronger response. Better performance. But none of that matters without the foundation. That's where real change happens. In blood flow. In nerve response. In hormonal balance. In your nervous system returning to safety. And you don't need to overhaul your life to get there. You just need to show up. Not once. Not for a week. But steadily, quietly, with care. Because the oil, the massage, they're just vehicles. The real healing is in the message you're sending to your body. I'm not done. I still matter. I'm worth taking care of. And the body listens. It always has. How to make this your lifelong ritual? At first, most men treat this like a test. A curiosity. And that's okay. Curiosity is powerful. But what surprised me is how many of those same men came back after 2-3 weeks, not just for results, but because something inside them had changed. They didn't want a tip anymore. They wanted a ritual. Because they realized something most men never do. Healing isn't what you do once. It's what you do consistently, with presence. That's why I urge you, if this resonates, to build this into your rhythm. Not like a chore. Not like a performance. Like a cup of coffee. A morning walk. A bedtime breath. 5 to 10 minutes. After your shower. Before bed. When the house is quiet. Warm the oil. Feel it. Breathe. Touch your body like it matters. Because it does. Some men stretch gently beforehand. Others put on soft music. Some do it in silence. There is no perfect formula. Just consistency. Just presence. One of my favorite patients, James, 66, told me something I'll never forget. "Doc, this isn't a health hack anymore. It's just who I am. Like brushing my teeth or kissing my wife goodnight. That's the kind of shift I want for you. Not temporary change, but a return. To yourself. The final truth every man over 60 needs to hear. After 30 plus years working with men, I've come to believe one thing with everything in me. Just because a part of you has been quiet, doesn't mean it's gone. It might be asleep. It might be waiting. But it's not gone. And you are not broken. Too many men cross the age of 60 and begin to feel like they're fading. Not from the world, but from their own life. They feel invisible, unneeded, undesired, and worst of all, disconnected from their own body. I've had men break down in my office, not over pain, not over disease, but because they no longer recognize the man in the mirror. And I always tell them this: your body remembers, even if it's been years, even if it's been decades. All it takes is attention. That massage? That 5-minute ritual? It's not just about circulation or nerves. It's about telling your nervous system, your blood vessels, your soul, you still matter. You're not trying to feel 25 again. You're trying to feel yourself again. That deeper version of you. The grounded one. The present one. The one who knows his worth doesn't expire. Let this be a new beginning. So tonight, when you're alone, when no one's watching, warm a few drops of oil between your palms. Close your eyes. Touch your body like it deserves to be cared for. Because it does. Because you do. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about honoring the body that's carried you this far. And choosing, right now, to give it the care it's earned. Because that care is your power. That care is your masculinity. And once you begin this journey, once you reconnect with yourself this way, everything else can change. Your confidence. Your energy. Your relationships. The way you walk into a room. Because when you show up for yourself, the world starts to show up differently for you. A final invitation. If something inside you stirred as you listened, even just a little, if you found yourself wondering, could this really work for me? Then let this moment be your yes. Let it be the start of a new chapter. Not because of oil, but because of what that oil represents. Attention. Intention. Care. So don't let this end when the video ends. Let it begin. If this message touched you, even just a little, hit the like button. It helps more men find this when they need it most. Drop a comment below. Let me know what spoke to you. I read every one. And if you want more content like this, real talk, real care, real science for men over 60, subscribe. Turn on notifications. Let's walk this path together. If you'd like to support this work, there's a link below for donations. Every bit helps me keep this channel alive and full of honest, empowering health advice for the men who need it most. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. And above all, stay strong, stay curious, and stay proud of the man you still are. You're not done yet. Not even close.